Hello guys, wait till I'm setting up and call it a day. Hello guys, just checking see how if everybody can hear me. So I'm checking out some things. All right. I think that's the. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. All right, sweet. All right, I'm gonna get some more plants that I left downstairs because we have some orchids and stuff, and I'll start adding some stuff, guys. So I'll see you soon. Hello guys, I'm back. I'm just setting up some things close to me, and then I'm gonna make sure I have my giveaways close by. So hello. So let me get everything together. So we're gonna be listing a couple. I'm gonna do like about 3 giveaways planned, but I might do more depending on how we do today. If you have anything that you guys want to see again, just let me know. Let's see. Sorry, I don't have a regular stand today, so it might be a little weird. Manage all. All right. All right, go birds. All right, guys. So I have some really cool stuff today. Well, I find them cool. I don't know about you guys, but I find them cool. I have lots of orchids and stuff like that. We've been doing. Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Hello, guys. I left my little stand at home, so if it's I'm actually at my shop. If it's a little wobbly, then let me know. But I have plants all over this room. Eventually, I'm going to make this room into my little kind of like studio. It's like a spare bedroom that I have that I don't use. But let me show you a couple of things, right? If you guys want to purchase, hey, Daniel. If you don't hear me or anything, just let me know. But we are going to be doing this giveaway later on. Want me to donate? I'll take any donations. We do a lot of nonprofits, so we're gonna give away an arrow mix. This is our own mix. It's actually a soilless mix. It is pinned in the thing if you wanna buy one. It is a really good mix if you pretty much don't know what you're doing. It holds a little bit more water, but it gives a lot of aeration. And this is a soilless mix, so it's a cocoa based mix. So it has like two different types of barks. It has two sizes of perlite, charcoal, and cocoa. It has cocoa blocks and cocoa core. So it's a really cool mix. So we're gonna be doing that in like about 15 minutes. The other sweet stream things that I want to do is I'm going to be giving these clips out. These are pretty awesome. It's probably you guys are seeing it backwards, but these are little clips. Like if you grow crawlers, like any philodendron that crawls or anything, you can hook them up to your wall, and that helps prevent a little bit less of damage to your wall. Your wall's still going to be damaged because it is going to adhere to your wall, but a little less. And the other thing that we are going to give away, these are actually pretty awesome. We are going to put them on our website and then so you can buy them off our thing. It's called fly controllers. If you have gnats, you know how annoying gnats are. I'm going to show you this real quick. So it has like little things like you can put this into your soil. They're a little harder than normal. So they're like hard plastic. And then they have the glue stuff in it. And then of course attracts gnats so you can kill them. And it says you're dead to me. What's the other one? Buzz off. Let's see. No, this is my favorite one. No fly zone. So these are pretty cool. And let me see. Stuck on you. So they're cute. They are going to be for sale. I think they're like $12. We haven't added to our website because we just got these, but I'm going to give them away today. So if you ever wins it and they like it, do that. So stick around. We're going to be doing them every 15 minutes or so. I like to do these kind of short, but I'm going to show you something I'm going to do in auction off. So I have some orchids, and certain things are orchid and bloom, but these are something that you don't see every day. So these are ghost orchids. I have two of them, that I have on here, and they're pretty cool. They're in bloom. So I don't guarantee them that by the time they get to you, they're going to be in bloom because the blooms can break off and stuff like that in shipment. But these are pretty awesome. And then, ghost orchids are like, they're easy to grow as long as you keep enough humidity. So you got to mist them every day and so on. They do produce leaves at some point, usually right before flowering. If you can tell, they had little leaves on them and they come up. So I have two. One that's like yellow and white, which is this, that are going to be auctioned off. And I have another one that's fully yellow. So they're pretty. So I have some cool orchids. So I'm going to do orchids in between, some philodendrons, some things, and some smaller stuff to do some cheap stuff. So, all right. So let me do some things, and we'll get started. All righty. So I'm going to do. Let me see. I'm going to start with a giveaway. I'm going to set it up for 15 minutes. So actually, no, I'm going to wait 5 minutes because you have to be 15 minutes on. So let me bring out some cheaper stuff that you guys might like that are, So this is Fatina. This is a new variety. If you guys haven't had it, is bright red. I think it's called, I forgot this one. I think it's called Fire Leg, but whoever wins this, if they get it, let me know. It's a cool one just because it is newer. The leaves kind of like are crinkled on the side, and it does grow pretty well. It actually grows closer to the ground, even though it does kind of grow up. But it is pretty good. All right, let me see if I can do. I've been doing this with my phone too, so hopefully this will help. All right, let's see if this will. See if this helps. Oh, well, maybe I'm good. I call it F1, but guys know what to do. It's going to start at $4. All right, pin and run. All right, sweet. So it's a cool little plant if you like it. It's something new. I usually small planters are also pretty awesome for these. So they're gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna start with different things, guys. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff on there. So feel free. All right, cool. Anything that you guys want to see, just let me know because I'll do different things throughout. So another one that I like. This is actually one of my favorite begonias. If you guys are not into begonias, this is great. Um, Begonias are a little bit weird because like most people can't grow them, but this one's a variety that is easier to grow. Like right now, this was growing outside, but before this, it was growing inside and it was growing no problem. So this one's called Iron Cross, and it's an awesome little plant. So if you can't keep them, try to get stuff that's thicker leaves, and then that'll be better for you guys. Right. Ignore my dogs. All right. Let's see, begonia, Iron Cross. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. All right. And this one's going to be 10. All right. So it's a really cool begonia. It was everywhere at one point, and now it's just not everywhere, which is weird. So it's kind of weird because it is one of my favorite begonias. Hey, cool. And if you want to see anybody again, just let me know because I'll have stuff throughout. All right, let's see. Um, you run this one. All right. So this one is another one that used to be everywhere. This is a Hoya compacta variegated. I like them because like it's hard to get them when they're very well rooted. So these are stuff that I rooted out myself, and they're doing really well. So I like them, but I kind of just let them do their thing. They do prefer more sun than normal. So for a variegated plant, they do require like a lot more sun. They're actually in a very sunny window, and they get maybe about 5 or 6 hours of full sun. And they do well as long as you keep them well hydrated. They do well. They are known to get sometimes some pests because they hide under there, but you know, it is kind of hard to do that. All right, let's see. Compacta. Very good. I'll start with 8. And this is it's a really cool one. I like it. So, and if you guys have any questions on shipping, all these plans should start shipping out tomorrow on. So if anybody that's has anything, we're gonna start shipping soon. So, all right. So really, I like that. It's one of my favorite plants. Sweet. All right. Let me see some of the next ones. All right. Um. Let me grab these. These are pretty rare. So, let me get one with the name on it because like you guys are probably haven't seen this in like a while. All right, let me get the name on these. So these are orchids. So they're not in the Vanda family, but they look and grow like Vandas, which are pretty awesome. Look at how little that thing is. So if you look at that's about an inch in. They do flower. These I think are pink. I think I'm pretty good. So the scientific name is Scionocris fragrans, which I just butchered that name, but I tend to do that to scientific names. Um, but these are pretty cool. They're small, similar to ghost orchids. That's why they kind of grow it and mount it. But these are pretty good. So let me add these on here. Uh, and let me see. Nor. And these are pretty rare. Like you don't really see them that often. So um, it's good if you want to do bioactive terrariums or anything like that. These are great because you can attach them to logs and stuff like that, and they flower underneath fluorescent lights, so LED lights. So they do really well in terrariums. So it's a pretty awesome like thing. I gotta double check. Let me see, make sure that all these are shipping, and shipping is according to your area. So I gotta make sure that this was done correctly. So let me pin it one more time. Yeah, they're all coming together, right? Correct. Sometimes the thing is pretty good. If you guys want to see anything, just let me know. But this is the one that just went. Not went. It didn't sell yet, but just the day's still early. All right. So these are miniature ones. I'm gonna do another one. Let me see what else I have here. Um, yeah, this is another one. It's so small. These are pretty awesome, actually. I think they're awesome, but this is another one. It's a miniature orchid that grows like flat on the thing. It's considered an orchid, even though it's Coccidium spirodilum. It's actually I butchered that name, but it does flower. It actually grows mounted on a log, and as you can see, they're small. They're pretty small, so they're pretty awesome. So they're rare. Again, these are not things that you get. I believe this one's an African locality. So um, let me capture. And people that collect orchids and miniature flowers, this is something that's hard to come by because like these are done by people that come in for like shows, and then we get them. This was actually not grown by me, but I've been wanting one for a while. So I actually bought two, and one to keep and one to sell. So let me know it's like how you like it. Just let me know if there's a lag or if you guys can't hear me. It's a little weird sometimes. So it's a really cool one. I like them anyway, but I like anything. Sweet, sweet. All right, sweet. All right, let me see. I'm gonna do a first giveaway. It's gonna be in that way you guys can run it. All right, it's gonna be aeroid mix. Okay. All right. So it's gonna be a giveaway. Put it in. All right, cool. So let me see what else do we want to see. I have so many stuff that I'm like trying to think of what to get. Let me grab some stuff. All right. So I'm gonna do the next one. It's gonna be called. It's called Philly Frilly. It's a really cool one. Um, it's a great plant because it's very people don't see them at all. It's actually one that's out there. Ironically, it's cheap, but it's like not that many people have them. I think let's see my connection. It's a little weird. I don't know how to change the collection, but full HD off. All right, let's see. All right, let's try it on. All right, maybe that'll help with the connection. All right, guys. So this is actually one that's called Philly Frilly. It's actually a trademark plant that's out of up here in PA. Someone trademarked it. I don't carry that many trademark plants, but this is a really cool one. The leaves stay small, for my understanding. It is a new cultivar. I have not seen a mature version of this, but I like it because it grows well in small planters. It does well. Right now, this is on a 3-inch pot, and it works really well. It has a little bit of moss growing on it, but that's adds to the charm of this pot. I am going to put this up for auction for half off. Is in the shop we sell them for 25, and it sells really well. But it is a trademark plant, but you know. I like it because one is named after Philly, so who doesn't love that? You know, grow birds. Um, but I like it because it's like, you know, it's a small plant and you can go in it. When we run out of room, it's a great plant for that one reason. All right, let's see. So it's a really cool plant. If you don't have it in your collection, it's a plant to grab in your collection. You know, it's a really fun plant. So cool, so cool. So cool. So again, guys, if you want to see anything or check out our shop for anything, any supplies, we do sell all the ingredients to make your own soils. So, all right. This next one is if you all right kill plants very easily. It's a very cool plant to have, not to kill. This one is an anglinema. Um, you know, an anglinema. Let's see. Uh, it's no palace. So it's a really cool plant. It's different. I like it because it's a lot whiter than normal. So it's a very very awesome plant for that reason. So let me see. Let me add the listing, capture it. Hey, Snow Palace. All right. 9 and a run. So isn't that cool? I love this plant. It grows pretty quickly actually. I had these since they were little. I actually clipped this from the mother plant and it grows really well. So if you're into aglaonemas, perfect plant. If you like to collect them, you know, some people call them Chinese evergreens just because they always stay green because they're pretty. They're not impossible to kill, but they are hard to kill. So they're a really, really cool plant. Sweet, sweet. All right, let's see what else I have. Um, all right, let's see. We'll do in like about 10 minutes. We'll do one of the orchids. Let's see what I have. All right, let's do some alocasias. All right, so this is one of my favorite alocasias just because I tend to do alocasias. They're just temperamental. I think they're the drama queens of the plant world. But this is a really cool plant. It's metallic. So what happens is as it matures, it gets like a metallic sheen on it and it actually becomes a little purple, almost like this one. This is their newest leaf, as you can see. And it has the veining on the back is almost like a purple. So as it matures, it gets better and becomes a little bit more purple. It's growing really well. Like it's actually growing. I did this from a plugs. And I don't know if it's on plugs, but this one for some reason did better. Like I've tried different things to propagate this, and it's done really well like this. It's a really cool plan overall. Let me see. Let me add this listing. Let's see. Alocasia. Metalhead. Also, I love the name. So, all right. So, it's a really cool plan if you like it. It's you know, it's just fun overall. Let's see. And if you guys want to see anything, if I have anything, I brought a decent amount of stuff, but I might not always have it. Let me know, and I'll add it. All right, cool. So that's Anaglaniva Metalhead. All right. Let's see what time it is. And you know what? I am going to do the Ghost Orchid. So we'll do the first Ghost Orchid. This is the one that I showed at the beginning. It is a pretty rare. Honestly, like Ghost Orchids, I don't come across them very often. They're hard to propagate just because it's hard to like cut them enough and then get them to grow and attach as well. Once you leave them alone, let them crawl, they do well. Sometimes I'll put like little spiderlings and what I call spiderlings out. So it's easier to once they you get them massive. Okay. This one's they start a little bit more, but all right, guys. Let me know how that. This is one of my favorite ones that I've auctioned off. So, oh, hey, thanks. All right. Let's see what I have. Hello, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. I'm gonna bring some plants that are do good in terrariums. Let's see. Let's see. Let me bring it in. This one's actually one of my favorite ones. Um, they're good for gecko enclosures. I usually do them. The back down dies off, but the plant itself does bushy. It is a syngonium that is harder to kill. So I like it just because it's bushy. Um, it does well. You put in a bigger plant, it will fill it out. And it doesn't grow too overly large. So it's great. So let me add this thing to here. It does well on everything. Um, Okay. And this one's gonna be 8. Yeah, I remember that, and they're pretty awesome. I wasn't there, but I ended up stepping out for a little bit that you picked it up. But it's a really cool plant. To me, it's just a very good. Syngoniums they're my favorite. Um, I'm bringing a bunch of rare ones in a couple of weeks. I just got the notice from a friend of mine that's sending me a bunch of stuff, so I'm excited. All right, cool, cool. Let me bring out some other stuff that I have. Oh, let me go bring out an oldie by a cutie. That's the thing is like they can roll around through everything and be fine. That's the cool thing about Syngoniums. That's why I love them for animals, for like enclosures because they are pretty awesome. They just can take anything. All right, I'm gonna bring out something that I clip from my own plants, and they do really well. This is an oldie, but a new one that I guess I can say. So this is a Pink Princess Galaxy. So this one's a little bit better than the original. So what happens is this is a highly variegated one. It's really cool. It does tend to grow more like a bush for some reason. I don't know why. If you can tell at the bottom, it tends to bush out, even though it does get taller. But mine bushed out a lot more before than it, so I'm not really sure why. But it's a really cool one. They come down in price a lot. I remember when they first came out, they were like a fortune. So now I'm gonna, for example, this is gonna start at $8, and it's like, you know, uh, and it's also funny how prices come down so uh uh so much because during COVID people were going crazy for during COVID. And it's just this one's a really nice cultivar. If you haven't had it, haven't owned it for a while, um is it is a really cool, like, cultivar. I didn't produce that many of these this year, but I like the fact that there's, like, it doesn't revert like the other ones. All right, cool, cool, sweet. So it's a really good one. Let's see what else I got. Oh, there's another little one that I got. You guys are gonna really like this. Um, if you collect, I like to collect things that are like that are normal, like, not say normal houseplants, but things that were common houseplants, and then they came out with something crazy. You guys are gonna like it. Um, So this is, I forgot the sac cultivar, um, but this is a variegated. Um, it's a variegated violet. I forgot the exact name on it because it's actually pretty new. So I first say, look, the leaves look weird, right? They almost look like mutations, right? Um, thank you for sharing, guys. This is weird. The cultivar is just weird, I think, but the leaves are so weird. I actually thought, I'm like, is there something wrong with the leaves? Because you can tell they almost look a little weird, right? But it's just the variegation, and then the leaves are come like a little weirded out, right? And then this flowers. This flowers. I believe this is the violet. There's a pink and a like a purple. This is like the purple version, I believe. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure this is the purple version. Sometimes I get them mixed up. So whoever gets it, surprise. Um, but this is a really cool one. Um, it's again, it's not something that you see all the time. And then these are, they've grown pretty well for me. So you know, again, this is I took clippings from the original mother plant. Varicosums, I don't have any today. I normally do. I just didn't like the way they were kind of growing. They were going kind of, as you know, they were kind of doing runners instead of rooting really well. So I chopped them up again. So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll get them back in. uh, but yeah, this is something that I prefer. I particularly like this. But all right, cool, cool. All right, let me see what else. I haven't put this one out here. Let me see. Let me bring another orchid because you guys don't get to see that many orchids. Um, Let me see, because I don't see orchids in this show very often, in the shows. So this farmhouse is one of my favorite orchids in the world. So doesn't look like much, right? Let me see. Let me get the tag a different way so that you guys can see it. Doesn't look like much. I don't know if anybody knows what they are, but this is a coconut orchid. And what happens is they smell like coconut. And during the day, they smell even more, which is rare. Normally, some orchids smell at night. It doesn't grow very particularly crazy. Like, I don't like over how it grows, but I do like these guys are actually to root. So, a great investment plan. If you cut them on the thing, they just kind of grow. They do really well. So they grow. They actually root from each of these little pups. This one I would let it grow out a little bit because it's throwing some pups on the side and starting to leaf out. But it's a great one. All right. So this is a coconut orchid. Again, this is it's right now it's blooming. It should stay blooming for a little while. I just don't guarantee the bloom because sometimes it can be damaged through the shipment and stuff off. But this is a really cool one. So it's pretty fun. All right, cool, cool. All right, let me try some other stuff, guys. See what you like. Let's see. Let me do the next one. This next one's really cool. If you like the varicosum, this will be another one that you would like. This, guys, is a squam. So I had this on my last plant one. It is a philodendron. Similar, I don't know, similar to the serpents. What happens is if you see right here, it has a fuzzy pelio. This is actually the easier one to grow and propagate out of the ones because they do kind of like throw these little like runners almost, and it's great. I particularly love them. That's why I keep them in stock and I cut these up really well because they grow really fast. So they're a little more inexpensive compared to serpents. Serpents are very expensive, I think, just because they're harder, and they are harder to root. So, hey. All right. This is a really, really cool plant. If you guys, if you don't own one, I feel like everybody's showing them because they start out with little leaves like these. Then they start going like this, and then they eventually start fenestrating like this, and they do fenestrate. So it's a really cool plant if you don't own one. I feel like if you collect plants, you should have one. So, it is a really, really fun plant overall. Cool, cool, guys. Congrats on the winner. Put these out here. All right, let's see. You know what? Let me get Oh, you know what? I'm gonna bring an oldie and a good and a but a goodie. I'm gonna have the next two. The other one is one that I feel everybody that was in the plant craze at one point was trying to get. Mine's doing incredibly well. I don't know why mine's do better than anybody else's. I think it's just because they are under really bright LED light. But look, this is Aglaonema tricolor. It is beautiful. The only thing I don't like is that it does grow extremely slow. Um, this one's flowering, so as you can tell, it has a cute little flower. The leaves are pretty color. They do dull out if you give them too much sun. That's what was happening here. But this one is actually growing two little side pups. So it is filling in really well. So this one's growing really, really well. Um, I do like these. These are one of my favorite ones. I do cultivate and I grab them whenever I see them because they're really hard. Like you don't see them that often. When you see them kind of small. I usually get them in and I propagate mine pretty well and it grows really well. But again, I give it a lot of LED light. They can grow in anything though. They can grow in full light or even down to almost full shade because I've seen people grow them in almost full shade and they do well. They just don't grow as fast. All right. If you're a collector and like I think Summers had that made this plant popular, this will be the plant to get. Um, I think she made it famous, and I think that's why everybody kind of like had a lot of it. Tricolor. All right. Let me see. This is gonna be. So this is I like it just because it is very healthy plant. This one's growing really well. If this one, if you want to take it out and divide it, the two pups will do really well. So if you're into reselling plants and doing them, this will be your perfect plant to get. But I think it's as a collector, everybody should own one. I own like 10 of them because I like them. But it's a really fun plant. Cool, cool. All right, let me put the next one. And then in about another 5 minutes, I'll do another giveaway. The next one is um, a cool little plant called philodendron joppii. So I love joppii because it's one of the plants that because it was confused with two different plants. I think is philodendron 6969 something 8. I think it is. Um, they used to be thought that it was the same plant, and then throughout DNA, it would consider it was told they figured out it wasn't. But this one grows better. This one it ships better. It's a better plant. Right now, this one was a cutting, and it's growing really well, as you can tell on this side. So it's a really cool plant if you are into collecting plants. And this, I have one that's like 3 feet tall, and it does well. It grows quick. That's why I like it. So it starts growing kind of like this is a newer leaf. It starts getting like a little fat bottom and a little skinny top, and then eventually this will flare out on the older leaves. So let me see. Take a picture of it. Joe PI. All right. So this is a really cool plant if you are not, used to this. It's you know, it's pretty awesome. I particularly like it. So if you collect plants, there's another one that you collect. Sweet, sweet. Again, if you guys want to see anything or anybody, just let me know. All right, cool, cool. All right, let me see. Oh, let me bring out something that's super, super. I think it's super rare. I'm gonna bring two of them because you guys will really like them. They're a little bit more of an expensive plant, but let's see. Be right there, guys. I'm gonna pull out what I have. All right. I'm gonna do an expensive plant first, and then I'm gonna do one that's a little bit different. So this is an Anthurium vitifolium. I don't know if I probably butchered that name 100%, but this is a variegated version. So most people have this. This is like the Anthuriums that get really super long. This is a variegated version of that. So as you can tell, it's starting to grow a little bit bigger. I had this when it was like a little tiny clipping. So I'm starting to make it bigger right now. So it's a really cool plant. It's great for mounting. So if you, and then it propagates really well too. I just, you know, I like them when they get bigger. So, um, again, so this is one of the on the higher ends of the plants that I'm gonna um, auction off today. So it's a really cool plant. If you like mounting, if you want rare stuff, this is the rare of the rare. I honestly, I go to shops in the Philly area, and you can't find them. Mostly because what happens is people don't know what they really are. Usually, you put this on a hanging basket that gets super long, and it can reach like 4 or 5 feet. I have the original version of this, and it's like about like the leaves are about 3 feet. I love it. That's why I bought this one so I can have it. All right, let me get to the next one. The other ones, I'm gonna change the cheaper one to a more. Then I'm gonna put a cheaper one and then a more expensive one. This is a philodendron burley max, variegated. So I think the original was named after Burley Max, the biologist or her, the designer, I guess you could say, because he was a landscape designer. And this is a really cool plant. This is a variegated version. It's small. Most of them you see them big. So this is gonna be cool. And early. Next. Very good. All right. Let's see. And this is gonna be 15 to start, guys. So it's something like if you always wanted to have this one, it's great to tell like work on like if you want to work with plants that are sorry variegated and they're gonna revert. This is a good plant to start. Like it helps you learn how to like especially like albos and stuff like that. They're great to like tell if they're you know where to clip off. Is a good starter plant. All right, sweet, sweet. All right, let's see. I'm gonna change to a little bit more of an expensive plant, and I might put a couple orchids up. So this is an aglonema. It's a hard soft name. Suwana Suwana Fumai. I can never pronounce this one. But look at this. The cool thing about this is that the variegation is blotch. And that's what I like about this plant. It is something rare. You're never gonna see this very often. I only was able to get two because they're so rare. So um, it's a cool little plant, you know. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna list this as it's not the most expensive plant on my shop, but it's up there. And then Sinaglanima. I'm gonna put Sue because it's gonna be pretty hard to tell. But you know, if you want something that's gonna be easy to take care of, but it's super rare, this is it. It's a cool plant. It's an awesome, awesome plant. Sweet, sweet. All right, cool, cool. Let me get some other stuff for you guys. Let me see. All right. Let me do an orchid that's different. If you guys want to see anything, let me know, and then I'll get some more terrarium plants in. Let's see. Ready to cook that orchid, so I'm going to do one of these. So this is a pretty awesome orchid. Can't even see me through it because it's so awesome. So this one is called Snowbird. Not sure why it's called Snowbird. It might have been originally might have been white because it looks like a hybrid. No, it's actually a clone. So it's a really cool plant. I like them just because the leaves stay kind of 2 year round. So you just don't have an orchid when it's not blooming. This is a summer blooming one, so it's really cool, and it's good to keep it outside. So let's see, what orchid too. This one's gonna be a little bit cheaper. Sweet, sweet. So if you like orchids, this will be the ones that will be good for you. These ironically are easy to take care of. I flood them once a week, let them run, and then mist them. Right, sweet, sweet. All right, I'm gonna do some more philodendrons in a second, and then I don't think I have any Hoyas. So let me. I'm gonna add one of another giveaway. Um, let's see. I'm gonna do a. Actually, I'm gonna do one of these guys. Undo the clips first, guys. So let me grab them. Let me create. Grab clips. All right. All right, guys. It's a cool thing. So this is what I'm going to be giving away. So if you join, if you watch it, make sure you follow me, all that good stuff. All right, let me see. Let me bring out a philodendron you guys probably also haven't seen in a while. And then I'll do some Hoyas and some cheaper stuff. All right, let's see. This is my next one. So this one's actually pretty easy. The bottom leaf died, so but everything else looks good. So this is a philodendron sparkling heart. It's called a graziale, but is the cultivar is called the sparkling heart, and as you can tell, it sparkles. So if you like a plant like this, it'll be perfect. So really cool plant. It does grow pretty well. It probably would need a support if you give it to it. It'll take it because I noticed that on this one the roots grow towards the back of the plant. So I think it will do great on the totem pole. So I'll get to get it big. But look how big the leaves are already in just a few cuts. So it is a really cool cultivar. It's something different that you don't see every day, and it's a showstopper. You know, I've not noticed anything like we do everything organic, but I've noticed no pests, no nothing. It's a probably the easiest right now to grow. All right, all right. Philo sparking sparkling heart. All right. So it's a cool plan if you want to try something new that's grown. Look at that. I'm in love. Those plants are this is a very sexy plant. Hey, look at that. All right, cool. And again, guys, we're gonna be doing these shows like at least plant shows every other week, hopefully. We're just playing it by ear to see how we do. All right, sweet. All right, let me get some other stuff. All right, the next one that I have on here is it's a regular goldfish plant. So this is a fun plant. This is going extremely well. So it's if you haven't had it, it's good for kids. I used to grow with kids, so I put a little cheaper one so you guys can like them. You know, I try to put like some different price plans on it. All right, and this one is fine. All right, cool. This one's gonna be $5, but it's a cutie. It does great on hanging baskets. It does great on anything. It grows really well. This is growing on LED lights. And look how good it's growing. So if you have the Barilla light, you know, it's great. Sweet. And again, guys, these plants are going to start shipping out tomorrow because it's early on the week. If you want me to hold any plants, just let me know. So, because I guess there's a bunch of stuff. We ship Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for most of the days, and then some Thursdays depending on the weather. All right. Sweet. All right, let me see. The other one's a really cool one. I love these. These are called brain cactus. These guys grow extremely slow. It took me 5 months almost to root these. Because they when I got them unrooted that I didn't know. So I did the work for you. They go if you have a head planter, amazing. They're extremely rare just because they're really slow to grow. Like if you can tell on the side, that grows, and then sometimes they die off a little bit, but then they'll start growing like there. And that's just how they are. So, but this one's extremely green, does really well. So, I've auctioned a couple of these already. Um, so they're fun little plant. So if you have a brain cactus, I mean like a planter with like a phase on it, amazing. We do a lot of them. Like I sold a few of them. I brought in a few from Halloween that were rooted already. Did that mistake once, and people bought them for like Frankenstein and skull like ones. It were pretty cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let me see what else. Oh, my plant's right here. This next one, Adelonema. So a little bit different plant. Let me see if you guys can see this. The cool thing about this one is this is it grows almost like a forgot the name of the cultivar. But these guys are bigger leaves, right? And you can tell how big it is just from this isn't a 4 inch planter, but it grows pretty quick. So it fills out. So it grows from the inside, similar to a philodendron. But the leaves are, let me see if I can show you one. They're kind of like a velvety color, and they do get a little bit of red in between, slightly. It all depends on the sun, but it's a cool cultivar. Let me add one on here. And mm, sorry guys. Sorry, I was getting some weird texts from Palmstreet, but it's good. I bought some stuff from a plant guy. Um, and I love the auction, so I bought some plants from an auctioneer, and then they just ship them, so they're great. I like to support other people on the platform. All right, capture. Sorry, my head was itching. But this is a really cool one. I like it just because it is a plant that will tend to grow a little bit bigger. The leaves they're not as delicate. They can cut like this one cut because I put it in the wrong spot. Um, but it's pretty cool plant overall. I love it. You know, it does great. Also do great in terrariums if you like terrarium plants. All right, sweet, sweet. Let me put in. Sorry, I'm covered in plants. Had a bad problem to have. Let's see. Ooh, let's do some Hoyas. Um, this one is a weird Hoya, but I like it. Hoya Rosita. I don't know why it's called Rosita because Rosita means pink. I'm assuming that's the color of the flower. Um, but sorry, I'm reusing tags because I like to reuse stuff. So this is a Hoya. It's almost like frills. How cool is that? It's just different. It does flower. So I'm assuming they're pink because I actually not looked up this cultivar, but let me add that on. So it's a new one. It's fun if you want to try yourself in a Hoya. I find that it grows really well. As long as Hoyas do like to dry out eventually, so it's been doing really well. I've got a group of 6 of these guys, more out of curiosity than anything, and they've all been doing well. Yep. All right. This Hoya Rosita. All right. Let me get you another one that's a classic. Not that it's pink. Um, Melifa, congratulations on winning the clips. This is another one that's a true classic. At one point, these were going for a lot of money. Um, this is a string of hearts variegated. So if you don't own one, here's your chance because I feel like everybody should own it. Um, Let me take a clip. Let's see. String of hearts. All right. So string of hearts for good evening. First time. Oh, hey, welcome. Yeah, it's a really cool. If you don't own one, I suggest everybody should own one. It's a really cool plant. I remember during COVID, these guys were like $45 for a single one. I like not like a single plant covered, like a single cutting. It was insane. Um, I didn't join that trend because I ironically already had one, but I was shocked. I should have just cut mine up and sold it. All right, congrats on the winner. All right, let's see what else did I have. Oh, let me bring out. I'll bring an Ethereum, and then I'm gonna bring begonia first. All right, guys. Um, let me bring the begonia first. So this is kind of on a delicate side, but it's not at the same time. This is a weird plant. Um, you got to change it into a begonia soil. Begonia soil has peat moss, has some spangler moss. Ironically, these do well for me. I find that everybody does well, but it's a pretty rare orchid. This is uh, I mean orchid. It's a begonia called the lizard lady. I like it because I like lizards and I like plants. So it's a perfect plant to get. But it is it's on the delicate side. But all it is I grow them almost in like light shade in a sense. I almost grow them in almost like close to full sun. It's just bright light. They can't take anything as long as their soil's well. They gotta aerate and then do they want to aerate and then have and like dry out in a way, but not completely. It's just they're weird. But they're a good plant once you get them. They're great. They do great in terrariums. I don't grow them in terrariums. I literally grow them out in public. All right. I just saw the Steve Leaves auction, and this one actually it's funny. I have a bunch of them, and they went for a lot of money over there. I think they're kind of rare for most people, but you know, I like them. So it's if you want a challenge, this is it. Let me see if I can get to a bunch of plants. We have a bunch of plants that I don't know if I'm going to get to, but I'm hoping. Let me know if you guys want to see anybody. Any advice on gnats in terrariums? What happens is with gnats in terrarium is hard. You got to get other stuff to outcompete the gnats. So what happens is add more springtails, add more isopods, and sometimes they outcompete them. It's hard because I do tend to water a little bit less when I have gnats because I do a lot of geckos. So sometimes we work against the gnats. Um, you know, the other day that I tried something, what was it that I tried? Sometimes like just not giving them enough places to go. Unfortunately, like if you have like a terrarium that's a little too wet, it's hard to go in. Um, you know, no worries, Jennifer. You've been great. Yeah, stop by the shop anytime. Um, but yeah, try drying it out a little bit too. Usually, like if I miss every day, I miss every other day, that kind of stuff. But try to outcompete the gnats because that'll usually works. And usually gnats around this time, and you'll usually like in a couple months you won't have them anymore. I gotta find there is one carnivorous plants that you can put in a terrarium that doesn't produce a toxin for animals. That is good to prevent gnats. I gotta look at the cultivar because I think I do have it. I just don't remember which one. All right, let's do an Ethereum because we haven't done an Ethereum so far. So this was an Ethereum red heart. So cute little leaves. Almost look. Oh, have a nice day, Jennifer. Thanks for tuning in. You're the best. Um, these are cool little Ethereums, little hearts. I like them. Um, so they're small. If you like to grow a little tiny anthurium, this is it. Anthurium red heart. All right. It's a fun little plant if you want to grow an anthurium from smaller. I like them just because their leaves are a little bit thicker. They're not as delicate. And it's doing well. It's been growing. This is growing in like like a bright shade almost. So we normally do them on Fridays and Mondays. Um, I'm gonna try a different day just to see how they do. But my auctions are usually Friday and Mondays. Most of them are Mondays because I'm off on Mondays. I close the shop on Mondays to kind of do stuff like this. So, but let me know what days are good for you guys and see. I might move them and see if I try them. All right. Oh, Hoya head, you joined just in time. I'm bringing out a Hoya. Let's see. Where's my little other Hoya that I had here? All right, let's see. If you guys want to see anything specific, let me know. Um, this one's a pretty big Hoya. This is a Hoya Cortesi. I don't remember the flower on this one. Honestly, it did flower for me one year, and I don't remember what it was. But I like them just because it's the leaves are good. They're really tiny. So let me add this. TC. All right, this is a really cool one. I particularly like these. They're fun. And then the other Hoya that I have that I'm going to do next is also fun too. This one I just like because it just grows well. Easy propagation. It just grows really well. Um, I do give it more light. This isn't a bright window, like a pretty bright window. All right, sweet, sweet. Let me get another one. Let's see what I have here. This is a Hoya rotundiflora. So the cool thing about this, the only reason I got this is because the leaves are like almost perfectly oval. They're just different. All right, let me add that on there. Rotunda. I know is the word. I butcher these plants like names all the time. Um, this one's a little bit more on my expensive side, Hoya, but um, I like this Hoya. It's one of my new favorites that I did. Again, these are growing in a bright light window. I'm pretty sure this is eventually going to flower because it is putting like little runners out. So eventually it'll probably will flower soon. All right, after this auction, I'm going to put a last giveaway for the night. So that way people, if anybody wants anything else together. All right, let me see what else. Let me run one. Let me see. Let me run at the last special so everybody can see. I mean, the last giveaway. Because then after that, I probably shut down. So the cool thing, these are, if you have gnat problems, this is a perfect thing. These are like the gnat things. So this is what I'm gonna do a giveaway on. Create. Um, Gnats clips. So these are the giveaways. So I put it in for 10 minutes so that way when we're done the show, we'll be all good. You guys will be getting the ones in this box. So, all right. The next one that I'm going to do is Alocasia mancreosionos. I just pushed it out of the name again. But this Alocasia is a little bit stronger because I find it's a little bit stronger. It doesn't, I don't think it's prone to pest, at least in my opinion. But it's a cute little one. It's all right. I had good luck with these. Allocations I don't always love because they, they can be prone to spider mites. Um, but this ones I have not. So, this is Alocasia pin. So it's a really cool plant. If you want to try something like this, it'll be really fun. All right, let me see what else I have here. I want to do, you know what? I'm going to do another ghost orchid because I wanted to auction those two if anybody was interested. And then let me see what else. All right, cool. Let's see. Ooh, let me do one that you guys probably have not seen in a while. This is my biggest plant here. This is a Monstera deliciosa, but it's not your common Monstera deliciosa. It is the golden version, as you can tell. This is already fenestrating. So I think this is a large form of it. Not quite sure, but look at that. The yellow plants are not always people's favorites, but this is a really cool plant. If you just want something that's a different color than your typical green, again, great. I'm just gonna put the sense of time, Monstera Golden. It's pretty rare. Like I've never seen them this size. I've seen them in sometimes in tissue culture, but I have not seen one this size. So I'm pretty sure this will be a centerpiece in your house if you buy it. So this one's just doing well. The I did not grow these. I've been looking for them for a while, and I got 3. The grower had 3, and 3 is what I took. So in my shop, you're only gonna see 1 because I'm gonna auction 1 off eventually, and then you guys are gonna see this one. All right, so it's a cool one. Let me auction. Let's see the orchid, and then an unknown Hoya because I don't remember the cultivar of this. So I'm gonna put it as unknown. All right, this is the other ghost orchid. Look at that. Pretty. It's something different. Yeah. So the one that I saw before was thank you guys. This one was the other one that you saw before if you were tuned at the beginning was the ghost orchid yellow and white. It was like white yellow on the outside, white on the inside of the petioles. This was yellow. So it's a cool one if you don't don't want to try something that's just different. These are it. This one's actually growing really, really well to the point where you might be able to cut this off. All right, cool. These are also great to do in terrariums. All right, let's see. All right, let me try another one. I'm over on this one. I don't remember the cultivar of this plant. It's a Hoya, but I don't remember which one it was. So I'm gonna put it as unknown. Oh, sorry, I just dropped it. No plants were harmed in this video. But it's cute. I gotta look it up at the cultivar because I don't remember. So I'm just gonna put it as unknown Hoya. This is a cool, but I don't remember the cultivar on it. So if you guys want to try something that's different, let me know. Sometimes I like a good surprise, and that's probably what happened here. I got them, and I don't remember the cultivar. I'm gonna probably Google Lens it later because I don't remember top of my head. But it's a fun one. All right, let's see. All right. Let me try a different one. Let me see what else that I have. Let me try cool things up here. Let me get through some other plants out here. All right, let's see. All right. So the next one I'm going to do is a Hoya tortum. I mean, it's a Hoya tortum. Philodendron tortum. It's a really cool plant. It grows almost like a palm, and that's why I like it. Um, all right. If you missed this one, we do have them in our shop, but figured if you want to get one that's a little bit cheaper, perfect, perfect for it. This one is due for a repot because it's getting pretty big, as you can tell. They're pretty big for the little tiny pot. So it's a really cool one if you are interested in it. And if you guys want to see anything else, because we are gonna probably in about 10 minutes we're gonna log off. Let me know and I'll show you anything else that I have on there. All right, let me run the next one. The other one's a cool cultivar. You guys don't. I like Jose Bueno because they're grown really well, but this is a really bushy Jose Bueno, and this was a cultivar called Jose Bueno Fiesta. So it's fun. Um, so let me capture that. Jose Bueno. So it's a different cultivar. I like it just because look how bushy that is. You could even split it if you really needed to. Um, but I like a plant that's full because full quick, and this is a very fast grower. Hello guys, plants, plants, plants. Thanks for joining in. All right, cool, cool. All right, let me see what else I have that you guys might like. Ooh, I forgot what it was. Is I had it on here and then I forgot to put it in. So this is um, an ant plant, but they're small. So ant plants are not really, they don't attract ants even though they can, but they make little tunnels inside, and that's why it's grown. But it grows bushy. Like I grow these as bonsais. So this is a really tiny version of that. It's a pretty rare plant. People like, you know, they don't want to. It has a bad rap because people call it ant plant, and they think it attracts ants, but It really doesn't. It just like anything, plants can live in this. Um, you know, but it makes little tunnels, but it grows like a very fat base, and it's really good with collectors. Collectors really love this plant. So it's funny because it's a little tiny one, so it's a cute little plant. I like them just because it has a fat little base and it grows in, and the ones in the shop there get really massive. Like we had some really massive ones at the shop. So if you're in South Philly, hit us up. All right, cool. All right, let me see what else I have. Um, oh, let me get these two. Let's see. Oh, all right, let me do 3 plants as we wait for the giveaway. The other one is an Amidrium Spider-Man. So this does throw out little weblings, so it does throw runners. So so it's really cool in a hanging plant, but it grows really well. Amidrium Spider-Man. We auctioned a few times of these last time, and they went really well. So it's a cooler plant if you want something that does get leaves get bigger, and they start fenestrating. I see little holes in it. Does really well. So it's a cool little plant if you're not into them. Cool. All right, let's see. All right, the next one it is a jewel orchid. This one is I think it's the golden. Is what they call it. Even though it's called a Macalodus pitola, but it's a jewel orchid. But it is some people call it the golden orchid, just because of their leaves. Alright. These are a little bit more rare, so we're starting with 15. So if this one's a small, jewel orchids grow really fast. These are well established. They're nice and rooted. But it is a cooler one. All right, guys. All right. Let me see what else. All right. So we have a few more minutes before I call it quits today. Let me see. Oh, I almost forgot you. So I have a stacker fern. This one's growing pretty well. It hasn't put out the little disc on it. Actually, I'm lying. It does. It has a little disc that went inside. But this one's good if you want to start something to mount it small. Let me see. Stag fern. And these are, I'm going to start this at 10. So it's a different plant. And again, these guys, all these plants other people that bought plants and got giveaways, this stuff will start shipping out tomorrow. All right, sounds cool, guys. All right, guys. If you have any other questions, let me know. What other plants? We didn't get to a lot of plants. I have like a lot of orchids and stuff like that. But let me know anything that you might win. I mean, you might like. We are closing shop for today. I might do one of these a little later because I feel like maybe 7:30 is too early for people. I don't know. But anyway, you guys keep me posted. Let me know how these went, what you like, what you didn't like. If you want to see anything crazy or anything, just let me know. We're just trying this stuff out. All right. All right, guys. Until next time, do what you love, and then let us know. All right. Bye.